Hello and welcome back to MindSpanse. I'm Craig and thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be continuing our discussions about public speaking. We went through 4 series of videos on how to prepare for your speech and putting together all your content and getting to know where you're going to be speaking and who you're going to be speaking to and all that kind of stuff. And so now we're going to go into the second phase of what I call the 3 Ps. So it's preparation, practice, and presence. So we're going to talk about practice today. And what we're going to do is a very, very quick visualization exercise, similar to what sports people do, athletes do before a big game. And because I want you to start doing this every night. And I think you'll find that it's going to release some of your anxiety and it's going to get you more comfortable with the structure and the flow. And we're going to do more in-depth visualization exercises when we talk about getting our energy up and being more present in the next phase of this practice. But this is just a really simple exercise that is really going to be helpful. And in the other parts, we'll talk about very specific live and video practice and audio practice. But I want you to get this one out because at the end of the day, the sooner you can get started doing these visualization exercises, the better you're going to be in your presentation. So what I want you to do is, if you haven't done any visualization or meditation, don't worry, it's no big deal. Definitely, you can check out, I have so many videos on meditation, and I even have a visualization very specifically, and my guided meditation. So basically, you just want to relax and breathe deeply, and relax your shoulders and relax your jaw, and close your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes, but it's easier to do that. And I want you to think about going into an auditorium, or if you happen to know the venue where you're going to be speaking, or if it's going to be online, imagine that you're going into that place where you're going to be speaking, and the whole thing, I want you to do it very, very slowly. So not a rush. I want you to walk through the door very slowly. I want you to imagine it's a lot of people, probably more than there will be. There's cameras, there's film crews, whatever it may be. But imagine everything that could be potentially scary to you. Imagine people staring at you as you walk through the audience to get to your place on the podium. And you'll probably feel some anxiety. These kinds of exercises to your brain are very real. And the more you do them, the more real they become. And so you may and are likely to feel some anxiety as you go through this. And if you do, realize that it's just a feeling. Certainly you're not in any danger and you're not doing anything, but your body's starting to get into that fight or flight mode, and pumping cortisol and getting you all ready to run. And so what I want you to do is just take really deep breaths, and realize that this is just an exercise, and realize that feeling is just chemicals in your body being released to prepare you for some sort of danger, and that there is no danger. And so just allow that energy to just buzz in you. And then what I'm going to help you to do over time is to take that energy, because you are going to get some anxiety, some nervousness, but to take that and channel it into your opening. So that you can come out and say, hey, I'm Craig, and I'm really great to be here. And that gets that energy, that nervous energy, out of your system and gets you started off on the right foot at the right energy level. So in your visualization, imagine that you're walking up to the podium or wherever you are on stage, and you can even imagine that like your slides aren't working or anything, all the bad things that could happen. So you get prepared for it and what you would do and how you would react. So if they're not working right, you may go to the stagehand or and have them come and fix it, and meanwhile say hi to the audience. And then what I want you to do is just the overview. So we talked about this in the preparation piece. So it's really just introduction, like, hi, I'm Craig, and use that energy to go like, hey, I'm here, and I'm really happy to be here, and thank you, and thank the sponsors, and tell them what you're going to talk about. So I'm here to talk about the Chinese outsourcing industry, and more ways for you to, as Chinese outsourcers, to gain business in the United States, which is what I've been using as sort of a backdrop to this whole series. And give some credibility, street cred about yourself, what your background is. Very short. We've already done all this, so hopefully you have this stuff laid out. But keep it really short, so shorter than you normal. Everything's shorter than normal. So it's just, hey, I'm Craig. I'm talking about outsourcing. I've been doing this for 25 years. And then your 3 points. So you just give out your 3 points and then a story. You don't even have to tell the whole story. What I would like you to do is initially just do your 3 points and then say thank you and have a great day and leave. And you keep doing that. And if you want, you could even just do 1 point at a time. So you just say, hi, my name is Craig, and I want to thank you. And I'm going to talk about outsourcing, and I've been doing this 25 years, so you should listen to me. Oh, and here's my first point. And then you walk off the stage, say thank you very much, and walk off the stage. Then you go back and do it again. And you could do this, 50 times in your head. And if you do this every night, and you add a little more each time, a little more each time. And so the point of all this is to create the structure that's absolutely solid in your brain. So it's like, boom, 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 boom. And everything else that you add in between, that's going to get you to a C+ presentation. And then if you add little layers and add a little data points, that gets you to your B+. And then if you amp up your energy and really connect with the audience, that's your A+. So we're trying to build this in phases so that you can't possibly mess it up. And so really do that. So you just, in your mind, go through this process. You'll have some anxiety, deal with the anxiety, channel that anxiety to your opening, to say hello. Maybe there's some issues with technology or whatever, and laugh it off and walk around on stage and play around on stage even, because you can do that in your head. You actually can do it in real life too, but I won't ask you to do that yet. And then just lay out your bullet points. And then don't forget, three main points. That's all people will ever remember. And then stories, like personal stories for each point that sort of highlight, the moral of the story is your point, basically. And then some data that backs it up. 90% of people are afraid of public speaking, or some little data point that gives some credibility. Or I like to do like surveys. So I talk to 10 CEOs, and this is why they don't want to do outsourcing in China right now, or this is some of the challenges they have with doing outsourcing in China right now. So those kinds of things are really valuable too. And yeah, so just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over, and you'll see that it becomes like clockwork. And also the stories become easier. And what you'll find also is some things don't flow as well as you thought they did on paper. And we'll talk about that in our live practice sessions too, because it's also very different. But you'll start to see it and feel it, that there's some words that don't make sense. There's some storylines that don't make sense totally, because you want it to nail it. You want it to be crystallized, completely clear. And bang, 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 bang. And that no one should have any big, giant questions, except if you want them to ask a particular question, you can guide them in that direction. So you'll see that there's some things. And so when you recognize those, don't change it right away, but make a note. Keep a notepad and make a note saying that word didn't work right, or that story was not the best story, because you have time and you find a better story, or you can alter the story a little bit so it just fits better, because you're just trying to articulate this point and obviously find something that's very personal to you, so that will project itself out to the audience that's meaningful. So that's all I have today, because I want this to be in pieces that are bite-sized and easy for you. And so this is a great thing to do. You should do this for everything. Every time you have to give any kind of speech or talk or whatever you're doing, or just going through an interview or whatever it is, just to role play. And you can do that in your head all the time, and challenge yourself in that very safe environment. So I wish you great success. Let me know how it goes. And in the next episode, we're going to talk very specifically about live practice, video practice, how to interact with it, so there's slides or music or video, and I think you'll find that all really helpful also. And then we'll also do a whole bunch of really in-depth visualization exercises to deal with fear and amping up your energy in the presence part of the series. So have a great day, and thank you very much. Like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel, please. That's how it gets out to a lot more people. The more people who subscribe, the more that YouTube will push it out there. So thank you again, and I'll speak to you really soon.